In the year 2015, Maria, my wife, and I found ourselves at the age of 44 and 45, respectively. A point in time where we had already spent a blissful 18 years in matrimony, raising two incredible young sons who brought immeasurable joy to our lives. Our union, marked by love, had traversed through life without encountering any tumultuous phases, creating a narrative of harmony. My professional pursuits were directed towards self-employment as a plumber, a journey that had commenced in the year 2009. Meanwhile, Maria, at the time, was engaged in the pharmaceutical realm, both of us riding the waves of career success, earning decently. One ordinary evening, as our sons lay nestled in their beds, Maria and I, seeking a tranquil moment of togetherness, found ourselves engrossed in a film on Netflix. The narrative unfolded the tale of a destitute girl catapulted into the world of escorting, where the revelation of earning $1,000 per client stirred a peculiar response from Maria. In a seemingly casual manner, she expressed her contemplation about spending hours at the pharmacy to earn an annual amount equivalent to what the protagonist earned monthly. Though her words hung in the air, I, at the time, brushed them aside, merely responding with a nonchalant yeah. Life continued its normal trajectory until approximately a month later. Returning home from a plumbing job around 3:00 p.m., I found a message from Maria, notifying me of her plan to share a post-work drink with a friend. This proposition was met with my approval, and I proceeded to manage the household, tending to our children, who were put to sleep by 5:00 p.m. Engrossed in a televised football match, I lost track of time until Maria returned home at 8:00 p.m. I assumed she had enjoyed a delightful evening with her friend and, without suspicion, inquired about the outing. Following a brief exchange, we retired for the night as per our routine. Fast forward to the weekend, Maria announced her intention to embark on a shopping expedition to the town center, a venture she claimed had been long overdue. Despite offering to drive her, she opted for her car, leaving me to manage household chores. After 4 hours elapsed without any word from her, a sense of concern crept in. I attempted to reach her via phone, but she remained unresponsive. A text inquiry met the same fate. As the minutes ticked by, my worry escalated, prompting persistent calls over a span of 45 minutes. Unyielding in her silence, Maria finally made contact after 7 hours, citing phone issues as the cause for her prolonged absence. The narrative unfolded with Maria's claim of a drained phone battery, a tale that compelled her to seek a charging station, prompting my forgiveness and a warm embrace upon her return. Our customary expressions of love were exchanged, and she retreated to the shower, all the while, my unsuspecting mind harboring no inkling of suspicion. A seamless 3-month stretch followed, during which life continued its routine trajectory. Instances of Maria meeting friends or working late at the pharmacy elicited no skepticism on my part. Sunday work shifts, a sporadic occurrence in her routine, became a more frequent phenomenon during this period. As I diligently pursued my own professional endeavors, the ebb and flow of our lives seemed unaffected. Then, an unexpected Friday brought a peculiar twist when Maria disclosed an invitation to spend the night at her friend's house, a proposition that raised my eyebrows given the regularity of their interactions. Nevertheless, without probing, I concurred and offered transportation, yet she opted to drive herself. Left alone with our children, a bout of boredom spurred me to extend an invitation to Dean, Maria's friend's husband and a comrade of mine, for a casual pint. A phone call ensued, and my nonchalant invitation was met with a response that shattered my world. Dean asserted that his wife was at home with him alone. A wave of disbelief washed over me, and I sought clarification, only to receive affirmations of the stark truth. The realization struck me, and as I dialed Maria in a desperate attempt for elucidation, the phone remained obstinately silent. Panic set in, prompting multiple calls and countless texts, all met with a resounding absence of response. Contemplating involving the authorities, my concerns reached a crescendo until, finally, Maria's call materialized. Profuse apologies flowed, accompanied by an explanation that her earlier statement referred to being alone with her friend's husband, a revelation that did little to quell the tumult of emotions surging within me. Colleague of hers, and this announcement brought forth a ripple of unease within me. However, I suppressed my apprehensions and wished her an enjoyable evening. As the night unfolded, my mind, seemingly pacified by her explanation of an inadvertent mix-up in friend names and an impromptu dinner, settled into a semblance of relief. Yet, the lingering query remained, why the prolonged duration of this purported dinner engagement? With a sense of reassurance, I retired to bed that night, thoughts dancing on the fringe of tranquility, convincing myself that, at the very least, Maria was safe. The following day, around 1 o'clock p.m., she returned home, her demeanor betraying no hint of secrecy or turmoil. Inquiring about her night out, her response, a mere recounting of relaxation, conversation, and a shared meal, appeared unremarkable. Life proceeded with its ordinary cadence for a week until the arrival of a parcel, addressed to Maria, marked by an unexpected disclosure, a new phone, an iPhone 6 Plus, a purchase that baffled me, considering she had already received a new phone a few months prior. 2 days hence, a display of extravagant expenditure unfurled as Maria presented a newly acquired high-end hair curler and hair dryer. My curiosity took voice, questioning the rationale behind such lavish purchases of items she seemingly already possessed. A dismissive response met my inquiry, an assertion that she seldom indulged in such acquisitions and felt compelled to treat herself. Though perturbed by the mounting expenditure, I opted for restraint, allowing these puzzling actions to persist. Another week elapsed, and we found ourselves at the dinner table, casual chatter echoing through the room. The revelation of a brand new Pandora bracelet adorning Maria's wrist sparked my curiosity, prompting inquiry about its origin. Nonchalantly, she unveiled her latest acquisition, explaining that it was a personal purchase. My concern materialized, questioning the sudden cascade of unnecessary expenditures, especially with her birthday looming just over a month away. Unbeknownst to me, this line of inquiry sparked a subtle ire within Maria, who responded with a hint of anger, declaring her desire for self-indulgence without the encumbrance of gifts come her birthday. Silence enveloped our dinner table as we refrained from arguing in the presence of our children. However, that night, before succumbing to sleep, I delicately broached the topic of fiscal responsibility, expressing concern over the escalating spending. Maria, in response, offered apologies and pledged prudence in her future expenditures, and with a shared kiss, we drifted into slumber. The uneasy feeling in my head seemed to abate, but lingering questions persisted. Where was she sourcing this surplus cash? 3 more weeks elapsed, the passage of time marked by an increasing sense of disquiet within me. On a particular Saturday night, Maria announced plans to socialize with her boss, a colleague from work, a declaration that reignited my apprehensions. Came clean about the evening, admitting to meeting a colleague for a drink but vehemently denying any impropriety. Her explanation clashed with the damning image my friend had captured, the details of which, once verbalized, only intensified the tumult within me. As Maria spoke, her words a blend of reassurance and protestation, I grappled with the dissonance between her account and the undeniable evidence before me. The drive home, filled with an oppressive silence, served as a backdrop to my internal turmoil. Maria's attempt at normalcy, accentuated by her continued justification of the evening's events, only fueled my skepticism. The realization that the woman beside me, adorned in a provocative dress and seemingly reveling in an evening of mirth with a stranger, was my wife of nearly 2 decades, fueled a surge of emotions ranging from betrayal to confusion. Upon our return, the atmosphere in our home was laden with an unspoken tension. The boys, unaware of the storm brewing between their parents, continued their innocent pursuits, further isolating Maria and me within the confines of our fractured connection. The weight of unanswered questions and unspoken truths hung in the air, casting a pall over the sanctuary we had built over the years. In the days that followed, our interactions oscillated between strained conversations and prolonged silences. Maria, grappling with the repercussions of her actions, attempted to bridge the growing chasm, but her attempts were met with a guarded reserve on my part. The image of her with a stranger, the clandestine rendezvous concealed beneath the veneer of a work meeting, lingered in my consciousness, staining the fabric of our shared history. As the days turned into weeks, the fissures in our marriage deepened. The echoes of that fateful night reverberated through our every interaction, a palpable reminder of the breach in trust that had transpired. Maria's attempts at reconciliation were met with my internal struggle, torn between the desire to salvage what remained and the reality of the betrayal that had unfolded. The Pandora bracelet, the extravagant purchases, the newfound glamour, once overlooked or dismissed, now assumed a sinister significance, emblematic of a transformation that had unfolded in the shadows. The woman before me, adorned in red heels and draped in a dress that offered a tantalizing view of her ample cleavage, was a stark departure from the familiar figure that had been my partner for the better part of my life. In the wake of that tumultuous night, as the threads of our union unraveled, the path forward remained uncertain. The foundations of trust, once sturdy and resilient, now lay fractured, a testament to the fragility that underlies even the most enduring relationships. The journey ahead, shrouded in uncertainty, awaited the resolution of a narrative that had taken an unexpected turn, forever altering the contours of our shared existence. In a moment of raw emotion, as Maria's tears flowed freely, I implored her to reveal the truth about the mysterious man and the clandestine meeting that had unfolded before my eyes. Amidst her sobs, she insisted that there was no relationship or romantic entanglement between them, asserting that it was their first encounter. The gravity of the situation weighed heavily on me as I pressed for an explanation, demanding to know who this man was and the reason behind her choice of an alluring dress. Maria, her voice quivering with a mixture of remorse and desperation, disclosed a startling revelation. For the past few months, unbeknownst to me, she had been employed by a high-class escorting agency. In a shocking twist, she divulged that she had relinquished her role as a pharmacist to pursue this clandestine profession. The late nights, ostensibly spent with friends, were, in reality, devoted to clients. The hours I believed she spent at the pharmacy were, in fact, dedicated to escorting, a secret life concealed behind a facade of normalcy. Her sudden acquisitions of lavish items, the Pandora bracelet, the new phone, the expensive hair tools, all fell into place as she detailed the financial windfall she had experienced in the initial week of escorting. This revelation stemmed from a distorted inspiration derived from a film we had watched months ago, featuring an escort girl. Maria's misguided jealousy prompted her to believe she could attain greater financial prosperity through this unconventional avenue. The truth unraveled further when I posed a pivotal question: had she engaged in intimate relations with her clients? Maria, no longer able to withhold the truth, admitted to such encounters, a confession that, while not entirely surprising, marked the final blow to the shattered remnants of our marriage. Despite her pleas for forgiveness and assurances of love, I found myself reaching a breaking point. In a resolute stance, I drove her straight to her parents' house, severing the tether that had bound us for 18 years. Alone in my thoughts upon my return, I grappled with the enormity of the situation, contemplating how a once harmonious and seemingly perfect marriage could unravel so swiftly, all catalyzed by the influence of a seemingly innocuous film. Following a period of introspection, discussions, and painful negotiations, the inevitable transpired: Maria and I divorced. The responsibility of caring for our children fell to me, while she sought refuge in the familiarity of her parents' home. Weekends became a structured routine, with the boys shuttling between households, allowing them moments with their estranged mother.